Welcome back, everyone. Day 9, and hopefully we're starting to build some real good knowledge around our areas, around the different strategies. Hopefully you're starting to get a bit of a feel of the way that you maybe want to start your portfolio off and what strategies are sort of, appealing to you. At the end of the day, you want to do something that you're really interested in, you're passionate about. I do think that makes a big difference. This is not just about making loads of money and maybe leaving your jobs or whatever it might be, whatever your circumstances are. If you're not passionate about something, you cannot keep yourself driving at it all day and for a long sustained period of time. And so try and choose a strategy that is does kind of hit you and you want to go after it. For me, it's serviced accommodation. I really like the strategy over all the other strategies. Whilst we do all the other strategies and they are very profitable to the business, I just like the way SA works. I like the challenge of it. It's quite demanding at times, and I like the way you kind of got to piece everything together. So, but some people don't like that. Some people maybe want a much easier strategy. They want a much more hands-off approach. So you kind of got it. Everyone's different, and everyone's businesses will no doubt go in a different direction. But you've got to choose what's right for you. So by the end of this 21-day program, you'll have enough knowledge to make those decisions and start taking some action, and then you can kind of go with the flow. Because I do think you should always just go with the flow of it. So today is about research and Rent2SA. Again, back to our spreadsheet, and you'll be pleased to know we are on the last tab here. And but by now you should have a huge amount of data in these 4 tabs. If you've been keeping up, and if you haven't, you're going to get a couple of days off soon, so you'll be able to catch up if you have fallen behind. But get your data done in here, get your lists built, get your viewing schedule sort of ready, and get ready for some action next week. So again, what we're going to do here is just have a look at how we research for serviced accommodation, so finding out if it is a viable option or not. Now, there's various ways you can do this. I do tend to jump on Airbnb quite a lot, and just go for, let's say, you can go postcode specific on this. Check out the check-in dates. Just go bang to bang. Number of guests. Let's just go 4. So we've got one place to stay there. Travel restrictions on it. Yeah, okay. So let's just go back here. More filters. Let's just start the whole thing again. So we're going to go NE4, and check-in dates are going to be July. Obviously, Airbnb's got a travel restriction on at the minute during COVID. They still haven't fully lifted it, so that's why it's not showing any places to stay. Here we go. So you open up. So you scroll all the way down the bottom. One of 268 places to stay. So this is sort of going to be NE4, and then it will kind of push out the whole 280. It'll be pretty much in the whole of Newcastle. So and then you can kind of see, obviously, you get this nice little map here, and you can drill in. So obviously NE4 is up here, this sort of area here. So NE4, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're probably 9. So you've got NE4, you've got 9 properties available. I like to look at Google Maps, or what I do is Google Maps, and then we'll go hotels in NE4. And what this then does is it drops the, as you see there, drops the prices on. And so great little tool, this. So this is your NE4 area up here. You can see there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's probably not NE4. So you've got 12 hotels. That's just within that. So you then look at your sort of out your 3 mile radius. So if you came out, 3 miles is going to be possibly all these in here, I would say. You know, and you're just looking to get a good feel for that. There's a lot going on. You know, as you can see there, there's probably 40, maybe something like that. You know, again, we don't need to be like absolutely bang on. We just need to be, you know, within reason. This is just research at the end of the day. You know, so that was now average weekday, average weekend prices. So I tend to use Airbnb to find this information because I think the filters on it's quite good. So now what we might get at the minute is a bit of disparity on what the true picture is. Although I know myself, we've got our portfolio back up to you know, proper pricing. Obviously during COVID, we had our prices right down. But you know, so what I tend to do is I tend to select 7 days, full week. I tend to just put 4 guests. Typically, whilst our one bedders do get popular, you know, some people will probably choose a hotel for a smaller property. But when you start going into, you know, a place that's like 4, 5, 6 people, then you start to get economies of scale. So, so what we want to do is just have a look at our weekdays and our weekend pricing. So for here, I mean, if you wanted to go specific to that NE4 postcode, you know, you were looking in that area specifically, then you could. Newcastle's not a huge place, so you know, you can kind of get anywhere in Newcastle fairly quickly. So I'm just gonna choose a few random ones here. So we'll choose this one. Skip down a few. Go on that one. So these are all kind of quayside flats by the looks of things. So what we want to do is, these are charging £50 a night for those check-in, check-out dates. So look at this one. These are £98 a night, £100 a night, £123 a night. So you can see there, those 6 guests. We've got 4 guests, 4 guests, 7 guests. Okay, so you kind of want to get try and get the same amount of guests. So we'll get rid of these 2 and we'll go with these 4 guests. So we've got £98 and £100 a night. You know, so what I then want to do is I want to see if it changes for a weekend. So if we said on average there for 4 people, we're looking at kind of that was, sorry, let's quickly go here first. So what I want to do is just change the checkout date to Friday and then see if that one hasn't changed. So that stays at £98 throughout the whole stay. So they obviously charge £98. And their price does drop. So they're £90 through the week. So I would say a safe bet here is average weekday. I always like to play it under a bit, but you know, £85 to £90 a night. And then on the weekends, so again, we just alter this the other way. So you're going to check in there and you're going to check out them, £98. And then same for this one. Check in, check out, £120. So that goes up. So again, if we bump the rate up, so it's somewhere in between there, it's going to be kind of your average weekend rate. Now, what you would do is you'd probably do a bit more research than there, but I'm just kind of giving you a flavour. You'd get a bit more of a feel for your sort of postcode area. Also, as you push out the city, those rates will probably drop slightly, so that's where you go a bit more postcode specific. And then what we're wanting to do is the same practice that we did on Zoopla for your average market rents for our rent-to-rent. You want to be finding out, but this time, as you can see, we've got 1, 2 and 3 bedders in here because we can use these for service accommodation operations. So you know, we've got some very good 1 and 2 bedders in the city, and they do very well for us. You know, they'll attract you know, anywhere from £65 on a weekday for our one bed flats. Two bedders, you know, you're talking like £9,500 a night, you know, up to sort of £150 a night on the weekends for our ones that sleep 4 or 5. So, you know, you get 21, 20, 22, 23 nights a month booked at those prices. And, you know, the gross revenues tend to be in the region of sort of 1,500 to 2,250 for, you know, a little flat that you might only pay £400 a month for on the market rent. So, you know, as you can see there, the numbers start to really stack up. Again, with your research hotels, you can kind of, you know, have a quick glance at all the prices here. So 48s, 31s, 34s, 45s, 65s. Now, remember, these are hotel rooms. So these are typically a double bed or a twin. So if you've got a one bed flat and you've only got a double bed in, then you are in direct competition with these prices. If you have sleep more than 2 people, so you know your 4s, your 6s, your 8s, your 10s, you're not really competing like for like with these, because if they were to, you know, have, say, if we had a team of 6 guys come up to work on a project and they were going to rent 3 hotel rooms, well, let's just pick this one for example. They're going to be staying there, 3 hotel rooms to sleep, you know, twin rooms, you know, 45 times 3, you know, you're going to be 135, £140 a night. You know, so that it's going to be the nightly rate that company would have to pay for those 6 people to stay. So if you come along and offer a house for £100 a night, then, you know, or £110 a night, then that's good money for you and it's a saving for them. And that's why serviced accommodation works. And if you get it right and you get the right mix of people, then, you know, you get the right avatar and you start building your profile up around various industries, you can really make some good money with serviced accommodation. So again, what we want to do is just go through the research of having a look, excuse me, having a look at what the rents are in the areas, what the average weekday and weekend prices are, and getting familiar with the postcodes, getting familiar with how many properties are in the postcodes. Any properties where there's lots of properties, I think that's actually a good sign because it normally means it's working. And anywhere there's 1 or 0 possibly suggests it doesn't work, because I think a lot of service accommodation providers now and hosts are popping up all the time. So, you know, there are most postcodes, and the good postcodes that work, they tend to stick around for long. Another good little tip is if you want to see how long, you know, people have been going, or not going, because not everyone has their counts, but you can see here the reviews. So these have got 220 reviews on this account. So there's a good chance that these have been in operation a while, and they are located on the Usburn, which is just down from the city centre. So you can see that obviously that is a good location because they've had 220 people stay, which means that, you know, obviously it works for them. They must financially make it work for them or they wouldn't do it. And obviously it must work for the guests for 220 people to have gone through that property. So again, they're just sort of like little tips that you can use to kind of build your confidence and know that certain areas work. And then again, with the researching of kind of Airbnb properties, what you want to be doing is just opening conversations, again on various channels, which we'll kind of cover off when we'll cover off next week when we're taking a bit of action. But, you know, there's various websites as well as Facebook groups, and you know, you can just be asking conversations, just, you know, is this available, you know, can we rent it off you? And then you go into obviously why you want to rent it, and how you're going to, you know, guarantee rents and have no voids, and look after their properties. And, you know, they're not going to have lots of tenants going through there that are going to, you know, potentially not pay or ruin the property, and quite often or not will refurbish the properties as well. So, you know, these are all good sort of tips and all good conversation points that you need to be getting across when you are speaking to landlords on why they would want to rent their property to you, as opposed to, you know, the standard put up with an estate agent, get a tenant in, tenant leaves after 14 months, they have to refurbish the property to get another tenant in, you pay a lot of tenant finder's fees, management fees, etc. You know, and that's why, you know, your offer of renting it for a long period of time without all those added headaches and added costs for the landlord is much more attractive once you can get your point across. So and you find rental deals. There's rental deals everywhere. You just got to go looking for them. So Gumtree's, Open Rent. You've got a spare room. You can get in touch with landlords on there, especially for the tired-looking properties or the ones that don't seem to have many rooms full. I actually find that the larger 4, 5, 6 bedders that we've got work really well for serviced accommodation. They get a lot of long-term bookings. I know we've just done another couple of bookings this week where I think we're sort of 3 or 4 months. We've got guys working on projects up here, and the companies see that as a huge cost saving to bang them all into one house, but for us it's very good money compared to just renting it out as a single let. So it's a win-win for both parties, and having that scalability. So I think one of our places sleeps 11. I think the other one sleeps, I think it's 12 or 14 people. So they're all about just getting as many guys as they can into the places so they don't have to keep paying for loads of hotel rooms, because at the end of the day, they're running a business. So they want to keep their expenses down. But on the flip side, the 1 and 2 bedders work great as well, especially if they're in the right locations. And obviously the 1 and 2 bedders are a lot cheaper to rent than the 5 and 6 bedders tend to be. So it is just about finding the deals, opening the conversations. Always be on the lookout on Facebook. I think Facebook's a great place if you know what you're doing. Don't go on Facebook to socialize. Don't go on Facebook to get involved in arguments and politics and all that sort of stuff. Go on Facebook to either market your own business and create content, or to find deals, and just always be looking. People constantly posting stuff. We kind of touched base on it a few videos ago, where just typing in property for sale or property for rent on Facebook. We'll have we'll do a little refresher of that now, but it's very, very easy. Just in here in the top, property for rent. So, and again, you'll have a load of groups pop up, and you'll also, if you just leave it on this all and just go scrolling, you can scroll down, see my adverts here. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Rent this, be quick, loads of interest. That's obviously an estate agent. There you go. So these are all just normal people, just wanting to maybe avoid estate agency fees, and they're listing their properties. There's no harm in getting in touch with agents as well, but you want to be trying to get direct with people who are advertising, and that is the easiest way. Just open conversations with them, and then get chatting about what you do and what you want to do with that property. And some are open to it, some are not. That's just the way it goes. You cannot change that, or you can try and change that, but it's just all you want to do is the more conversations you open, the more chance you've got of acquiring deals. And that's kind of what I always teach my mentees is it's all about open conversations. We want to try and open as many conversations as we can every week, and from that, basically that's the start of our sales funnel. And then the more we open, the more chance we've got of getting a property onboarded. So as always, jump onto the Facebook group, Next Level Property Investing, if you've got any questions. My team and I sit in there, so we'll be answering them, as you may have found already throughout this process. If not, there's plenty of other like-minded property entrepreneurs in there, and I'm sure there's a lot of experience in there as well, so they'll be able to help you if we don't manage to get you in time. That's it for now. Get after your research, and I'll see you for tomorrow's video. Take care.